Hello all, this is JC3 from Is This Real? Do you want to start your own podcast? Then look no further than Buzzsprout.com. We here at Green Hour Media use Buzzsprout, and we love the team at Buzzsprout. They are all about helping you succeed. Buzzsprout gets your show listed in every major podcast platform. Follow the link in our show notes to let Buzzsprout know that we sent you. It gets you a $20 paid Amazon gift card if you sign up with a paid plan and helps support our show. Join us and over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout.com to get your message out to the world.
From the Keith Winston Kaola Studios in Paterson, New Jersey, Green Arrow Media proudly presents Is This Real? Tonight, we're going to investigate the Lost Colony of Roanoke. What happened? What are the theories? What have we found out? And now your host, JC3.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of It's Joey's Fault. I mean,
you're not wrong.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's Is This Real? As this week we are back in the booth. No more Zoom, at least for the time being. This week's episode we were talking about Roanoke, or the Lost Colony of Roanoke. And in the booth I got Roblox. Say hello, Roblox.
Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody?
And I got Big Joe in the booth with me today. Just us three today. Say hello, Big Joe.
Hello, Big Joe.
Dick.
Hold on a minute. Before you go any further, I know, what's his name isn't here tonight? Mr. West. Yeah, I missed that because nobody went, is this real?
Do you want to do it?
Is this real?
No.
Okay, there you go. So, on this episode, and we do miss Mr. West, and he might not be with us for a little bit because he's handling his own shit at home. But, Mr. West, you're always in our hearts and prayers, and we love you.
Well, he's making paper.
Yeah.
Something we don't do here.
That's true. If you guys out there in podcast land would like to help us make paper so Mr. West can be here, the donation fund is at www.helpabrotherout.com. Anywho, so I just want, before we talk about this, have you guys heard about the Lost Colony of Roanoke before?
I did some research on it. I have never heard it before. You guys sent out the email that we were doing it, but it does. I have my own theories, and I got a list of theories also. But I have a couple of my own theories I think might happen. It's a little. It's a strange story. It really is, but I think it'll be an interesting topic.
Roadblock.
I thought you were cursing at me in Italian or some shit when you told me about this. I was like, what the hell did you just call me?
Hey, you don't know.
I didn't know what the hell was going on. No, I've actually never heard of this. This is my first time even looking into something like this.
Really? Neither of you?
No, it's not one of those giant topics, that's going to be up there with 9/11 or the Kennedy assassination. It's
a well-known mystery in the world of history.
Well, again, I must.
Patterson Public School System must have missed this one.
Yeah.
The fuck does that mean? I went to the same school system as you. Granted, it was a Catholic school, but it's the same fucking criteria.
Yeah, I went all public schools, just for the record.
All right, so are you telling me this Patterson school system failed you?
Yeah.
Anywho,
now I've heard of this before. I knew of it beforehand, before reading the list of potential episodes. And the one thing I knew most of it is because the only season I actually like, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for that, but the only season of American Horror Story I actually liked was based on this mystery. And it was basically told in a, the show, A Haunting, or The Haunted, whatever the hell it's called now. It's basically told in that type of point of view. It's a real person talking about their haunted house. Mm-hmm. That was basically the ghosts that haunted the house were the settlers of this lost colony.
Oh, so they were coming at it as a
it's like a haunted house type thing.
They were taking liberties with a true story.
Is that where you first heard this or no?
No, I've heard of it before. Like growing up, like you hearing mysteries amongst friends and stuff like that, because I was always a big mystery person. I like dealing with mysteries online and stuff like that, just reading about little things here and there. But when the show came out, that's when I really watched it because it was based on this. And again, that's the only season I personally liked of the show. And I thought they did a pretty good job as far as like the haunted type setup. I don't know if you ever watched the show The Haunted. Have you ever seen the show A Haunting or A Haunting? Or
well, you
The
got
Haunted?
two of them. I think A Haunted, that's the one that ran from 2001 to 2014 on like A&E or whatever it was, and then they canceled it, and then we went crazy. I love that show, so we all wrote into the thing, and they got it back up in the air, and it's still on. They've gone, it's like in season 11 or something like that, whatever.
Well,
it is.
it's that style. So basically, the style of the show is they take
it's a drama.
They take a story like it's a random house, and they take the story and they ask the real people. They sit down, interview them, interview style with the real people, and basically combine the story with reenactments throughout the interviews.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah, so it's kind of like a documentary style.
There was another story. There was another show called The Haunted, and that was. And I'm sorry, The Haunting, and that was done on I believe Animal Planet, and a lot of it was geared to the ghosts of animals.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
it's the same style, though, right?
Same exact. But in that one, they showed you actual evidence, like videos taken from the thing, from the investigation.
Okay,
and that's where it differed a little bit. It was a really good show. I don't know if it's still on or not. I don't think it is. But that was they basically take the story and then they use actors to portray what's going on. And then
that's what basically this season of American Horror Story was like. It was like that, but take it and put them. They bought a house now in Roanoke, Virginia. In this rural area where there was not a lot of people around, and they were just being haunted by these settlers who, they have a whole backstory. I don't want to, give people spoilers or anything like that. But, so I'll just get right into the story of this, and then we'll go.
Before you do that, I just want to say one thing. I want to dedicate this episode to all the people in the Ukraine. Godspeed, my friends, and I'm sure that... things will work out for you in the long run. I hope so. So, that's all I want to say.
All right. So the origins of one of America's most oldest unsolved mysteries can be traced to August 1587, right before you were born, Dad. When a group of about 115 English settlers...
I didn't insult them, right? Okay.
Arrived on Roanoke Island off the coast of what is now North Carolina.
Hold on a minute. Not to bust both of your balls, but I got to say something. With you two on that side of the booth, okay, my chair is actually off the chair like this. We're on a seesaw now. Okay, that's what it looks like. Look at Josh. Give me that look. Okay.
What in the flying fuck just happened?
I'm looking at just like, what the fuck, man? I need somebody over here on this side of the booth. I don't know.
115 English settlers arrived
right over my head.
On Roanoke Island off the coast of what is now North Carolina. Later that year, it was decided that John White, governor of the new colony, would sail back to England in order to gather a fresh load of supplies. But just as he arrived, a major naval war broke out between England and Spain, and Queen Elizabeth I called on every available ship to confront the mighty Spanish Armada. In August 1590, White finally returned to Roanoke, where he had left his wife and daughter, his infant granddaughter, Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the Americas, and the other settlers 3 long years before. He found no trace of the colony or its inhabitants, and few clues to what might have happened, apart from a single word, Croatoan, carved into a wooden post.
And the word crow carved into a tree.
That's what, okay. Same shit.
But did you mention the Indian that was their friend?
I didn't get to that part yet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Thank you. There's Dad, 5 steps ahead.
We'll get to it then.
Investigations into the fate of the Lost Colony of Roanoke have continued over the centuries, but no one has come up with a satisfactory answer. Croatoan was the name of an island south of Roanoke that was home to Native American tribe of the same name. Perhaps then the colonists were killed or abducted by the Native Americans. Other hypotheses hold that they tried to sail back to England on their own and got lost at sea, that they met a bloody end at the hands of the Spaniards who had marched up from Florida, or that they moved further inland where and were absorbed into a friendly tribe. It doesn't say anything about, at least on this, again, I'm on history.com. I don't know what other website you have up, Dad, but it doesn't say anything about, at least right here, having a friend, Indian friend. If you want to add that into it, please go ahead.
I will in a second. I'm just going over some stuff in my own head over here. It just seems to me that they had this Indian guy that they had. I can't think of his name right now. I'm trying to find his name right here. Anyway, they had an Indian with them that was very friendly with them. And it turned out that he went to England. He was with them for a while, and he saw the way they lived, and that's why he became friendly with them. And he was also part of the tribe that that was back in the colony, you know, or in that area, you know, that we kicked out. I can't right now. And he was one of the members that said burn down part of the Indians, burn that part of the Indians out of their home. And the theory is that when John White went back to England, that these Indians actually attacked and killed everybody in the village, which would have been about 112 people, something like that.
Said 115.
Yeah, well, I mean, without John White. Yeah. And then John White couldn't figure out what was going on. And when he came back, everybody was gone. And the theories are amazing. I mean, I'm sitting there going, oh, my God, I can't believe something like this would have happened.
My question is, and again, this is, you know, we're really talking early right now. Josh, do you have anything to add?
Not at the moment.
No. My question is, could he have landed somewhere different, thinking it was the same area?
Well, how would that happen? I don't understand.
Not if you found the same settlement.
Yeah. I mean,
well, how does if there's no trace? Like, how does he know it's the same land that he? I mean, granted, yes, there are maps, but like,
well, there had to be. I mean, there had to be buildings, no?
Yeah, if they built everything.
They said there was no trace of a civilization, meaning buildings were wiped down, everything.
So
just Croatoan written on a tree. That's
so
it.
what you're saying is that he left his colony.
Remember, this is also 3 years later.
Right. He came back 3 years later to a different. Maybe he was off by 100 miles or whatever.
Could be.
And that colony was still there. Is that what you're saying?
Could be.
I guess technically, because, I mean, we don't GPS back in the 1500s, but yeah.
I don't know, did we?
We should have. Should have
The
been
Jeepus?
GPS.
Wow.
What do you call it, the Jippus?
The Jippus.
What, Dad?
I'm just...
Maybe, wait. He was helped by aliens. Or the aliens took them. And the words in the soundtrack of Mr. West, dun-dun-dun-dun. I had to get that in there. But yeah, I mean, there's really. Do we know, Josh? Can you look up what the word Croatoan means?
Sure.
I know it's the Indian has something to do with it. I don't know what it means though. Despite the clues, the returning crew was unable to search for the missing colonists. A storm approached just as they came upon the desolate settlement, forcing them to turn back to England. On the basis of the mysterious tree carving, the nearby Croatoan Island, now known as the Hatteras Island, is the location of which many believe the colonists moved. At the time of the colony's founding, the Hatteras Indians occupied the island, and a popular theory supposes that the colonists joined the group of Native Americans to overcome their lack of resources and knowledge of the land. A supposed piece of evidence for this claim is the existence of carvings in the stones that were purportedly made by Eleanor Dare, the daughter of John White. These stones, often called the Dare Stones, contain written stories that tell the fates of the colonists and personal anecdotes from Dare to her father. Though they are largely believed to be a hoax and forgery, there is some academic belief that at least one of these stones may be authentic.
Yeah, it also says here that White's group of settlers ran into similar difficulties as the first group that was there after arriving too late to begin planting. Okay, the Roanoke colonists had a poor harvest and lacked many other materials. Additionally, after an indigenous man killed one of the colonists, John White ordered an attack on a group of indigenous people and a tribe nearby out of retaliation. This increased the already high tension between the Native Americans and the colonists who settled in their land. See, that right there, it tells you that, the Indian killed one of the colonists. Now, this guy retaliated against the Indians. He goes away for 3 years, and he comes back, and the Indians, he probably wiped them right out, completely. They knew the land. They knew, where to hide things. They knew what to do. They knew how to grow. They knew, and it's also that you show up on somebody's doorstep too late, and then you want to, basically fight them for what they have because you weren't smart enough to come in the planting season. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know.
So we'll get the definition of Croatoan real quick, and then we'll go to a short break. So, Joss?
So the only thing I see is that they split it. Croatan is basically just the Native American group that was living in the coastal areas of what is now North Carolina. So that's Croatan. But the word that was carved, Croatoan, spelled Toan, apparently from what they gather is that it's a combination of two of Algonquin words, meaning talk town or council town. It's like a combination of the two words. And then it just says Roanoke Island, Dare County, blah, 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 North Carolina. So, there really is no actual definition, but if they break it down into two different things, that's about as much as you can get, talk town or council town.
All right, so we're going to take a short little break here, ladies and gentlemen. But we will talk about the, I guess you would call them theories.
Yeah, I got a few theories I want to get out there.
Dig into the theories and whether we believe in them or not. So we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Anthony from Multimedia Mafia. If you love what we do and you want to know more about us, head on over to greenarrowmedia.org. On there, you're going to find links to both Multimedia Mafia show and our sister show, Is This Real?, which is all about conspiracies and aliens and all sorts of wonderful stuff like that. If you want to support us, head on over to our merch page where you can buy a hat or a mug. We have lots of different designs and cool colors. If you want to meet us, we got pictures up there. We have a little biography, and you can even stream the show right through the website. And hey, don't forget to check out our YouTube link where you can check out all the filming that we do right on our YouTube page. Check us out, greenarrowmedia.org.
Hello, hola, konnichiwa. I have a very important question for you. Is this real? That's the motto of our weekly podcast. We question everything from the paranormal to conspiracies, even the extraterrestrials. There's no topic we won't dive into. So tune in and listen to our show every Sunday at 8 p.m. And remember, folks, question everything.
Welcome back, everybody. So we are talking about the Roanoke disappearance, or the Lost Colony of Roanoke, if you will. And we just got the definition of Croatoan. And then now we're just going into the I guess you would call them theories.
The mysteries.
Of the, it is a mystery. These are just theories. There's two different things there.
Yes.
Thank you for your input.
Yes.
Okay. So, Dad, do you want to start off with the...
Yeah, there's a few... look, there's always a theory to everything, and especially something like this when, there's no media coverage or something like this, and there's never really... Everything is going to be pure speculation.
Well, there was no media back then.
Well, yeah, you had newspapers back then and stuff, but not...
No, you didn't.
like this.
1587. I don't think there was any type of newspapers back then.
Maybe not. I don't know.
There was a messenger going, "Holy fuck! Look what happened."
When was the newspaper invented?
What? I'm just saying. We all know that's
Hey.
basically. Yeah, exactly. That's probably what it was.
Please don't go into your Hamilton
I
bit.
was just about to do it.
Running from town to town,
Be
like
not the
yeah, messenger just running
revolution.
running from town to town, like, yo, some shit just happened.
Okay, first of all, the newspaper was invented 200 years after this.
All right, then I'm a visionary. What can I tell you?
No, you're... Oh, Jesus Christ. Go
All
on.
right, okay. Some of the theories out there come from, I mean, you have stuff like the aliens took them, or the hurricane came by and wiped them out after all they were on an island. Okay. A couple of them, namely this one, they split up. The idea can stand alone or be applied to the rest of the following theories. The settlers assimilated into the society of the nearby Croatoans and or other Indian tribes. Okay, this is a theory of is the original gangsta, having been considered as early as 1605 by Jamestown colonists upon hearing reports of Europeans living among the Indians in the area. Okay, that's one. Another one is, this is one of my favorites. They were all killed by Native Americans or Spaniards. After all, the land was originally the Native Americans, and the Spanish had claimed the area before the English had. Okay. All right, so I guess when they were killing them, they had time to write Croatoan on a tree.
You know what the funny part about that is? You said something about hurricanes, right?
Right.
They're in I just searched up and like just to throw it out, in August 31st, 1587, which I believe is the same year as Admiral Drake encountered a hurricane at Roanoke Island during the following year. So, strongest northeast gales caused him and his crew to cut his cables and set out to sea. It took 6 days to regroup after this treacherous storm.
Okay. Oh, see, again. Okay. Everyone died from famine or disease.
I could see that happening.
Maybe it's plausible. Diseases such as smallpox, malaria, dysentery, yellow fever, diphtheria, and scarlet fever, to name a few, ran rampant.
Scurvy.
Once contracted. Contracted. Okay. Another one is the colonists perished at sea during a deadly storm trying to return to England, or hurricanes and storms just wiped them out. That would be probably my favorite one, only because if they found no trace and you had a hurricane, say the size of Sandy, come through on a little island, I mean, just look what it did to our island down in Seaside. Mm-hmm. You know, what do you think it's going to do to an island that's not had no concrete structures and stuff made out of wood and bark and shit like that? That's probably my favorite one. Let's see, and then they got other ones here.
Can I read one?
Yeah, you can read as many as you'd like.
Well, this one's really interesting. The word Croatoan has something to do with it. So it says it's a Croatoan theory. He says the word Croatoan was found carved into a fence post at the abandoned colony, and its presence at the site is one of the most confusing mysteries of Roanoke. Why was it found there? The word Croatoan is also connected with other mysterious happenings over the centuries, each one more puzzling than the last. Right before he died, Edgar Allan Poe disappeared for a short time. When he was seen again, he was delirious. In his final state of delirium before his death, allegedly one of his last words he said was Croatoan. Poe's official cause of death is unknown, and his medical records and death certificate are lost, so we'll never know what happened to him the night he died. The word has also appeared at several other famous disappearances in the 19th and 20th centuries. In 1888, the stagecoach robber Black Bart carved the word into the wall of his cell before he was released from prison. He was never seen or heard from again. It was found in Amelia Earhart's journal after she disappeared in 1937. The last bed that horror writer Ambrose Bierce slept in, before he disappeared in Mexico in 1913, had the word Croatoan carved into one of the posts. In 1921, Croatoan was written on the last page of the logbook of the ship Cal A. Deering when it crashed on Cape Hatteras near Croatoan Island. The ship was missing its entire crew. So that's a theory.
And that's a weird one because no one seems to know what it means or what it says or whatever.
Well, we searched up what the meaning was. Like, it had no... Like, did you see any... When you searched up the word Croatoan, Josh, did you see any of these pop up, these stories?
No.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hey, Ryan. Hi, this is Sarah Palin.
Ryan, Donald Trump Jr.
Hogs to win, see you. Hey, everybody, I want y'all to check out a fellow Marines podcast.
My name is Ted Nugent, and I got a call from my buddy Ryan F. Samuels, and he wants me to tell you that he's a working hard, playing all-American son of a who is celebrating God, family, country.
Welcome to the Ryan Samuels Show, one of the top political podcasts in the United States, where we have a healthy distrust for government and mainstream media. The Ryan Samuels Show is a raw, unfiltered look at American politics.
That's fucked up.
One of the theories is the word Croatoan carved likely means the only thing left behind was the word Croatoan carved into a fence post on a town's edge, according to history. Just like the American Horror Story set photos, the most likely definition is that Croatoan refers to the Croatoan Indians, a local tribe, according to history. Well, that wouldn't explain anything of the other things you just said.
Well, I mean, these are
like
these are
Earhart,
facts.
everything else.
That wouldn't even explain the fact if it was left by the Indians themselves. You got to remember, it's not a slight against them. Did they write in what would be English? Did anyone teach them that? You know what I mean?
But that's the thing. So basically, every time this word has been shown up, someone's gone missing.
Or in this first case, everyone went missing.
Well, yeah. I mean, so Edgar Allan Poe went missing, and then he came back delirious and close to death.
Yeah.
Amelia Earhart, nobody knows what happened to Amelia Earhart.
They only found her plane or whatever it was, right?
They found parts of her plane, right?
Yeah. I
Dad?
think that was it.
I don't know if they found any parts of the plane, actually. I really do not know. I don't want to speculate. I do have something here. It says the Croatoan virus is a demonic virus that infects people and turns them into murderous, rabid creatures with varying degrees of intelligence, ranging from the cruel and cunning to the savage and mindless. It is transmitted through blood and blood contact. However, the Sam Winchester is shown to be...
Dad?
What?
Dad, that's from a TV show.
Right.
That's from Supernatural.
Okay.
It's not real.
Oh. Strike that.
Never mind, folks.
I thought I found something here, God damn it.
Like, I found it. I broke it. It's done.
Ladies and gentlemen, please delete
It's
the last
the
15
Croatoan
seconds
virus that
from your
nobody
memory.
has ever got in history, but I found it.
Delete everything you just heard from your memory within the past 15
Backspace,
seconds.
backspace.
Well, you all can kiss my ass at
Once
this
that
point.
word Sam Winchester comes up, hey, you know what it is? At least the Supernatural fans will sit there and get a hard on now.
Oh, at least
Well, this is
we're
gonna
appealing to somebody.
If this word was found everywhere, I'd like to know what it means. And
We read the meaning.
yeah, but why would...
Yeah, but that's only put together by whoever's definition.
It's
it
creepy
was.
that a ship, a ship was basically found in the Hatteras Islands near Croatoan Island, and the entire crew was missing, and on the logbook, the last page on the fucking logbook, it was sitting here that said Croatoan on it. That's creepy.
Yeah, it's really, really strange because I'm not going to say another word the rest of this fucking episode, but
See?
for fear that I'm stuck in the past or whatever the hell it is.
Nah,
Anyway,
there's a couple other. One of my, which I was like, oh, okay, cannibalism. There are two theories about cannibalism. Either the people of Roanoke were the victims of cannibals, or they had to resort to it to stay alive.
You know, I can kind of see that, depending on how shitty the farming.
Which one? Both, or just them
both.
eating each other?
Both. It doesn't even really matter, to be honest. I mean, more likely the people turning to cannibalism, because if they sucked at farming or had very
Well,
little...
in 1609, the settlement of Jonestown, the colony had to resort to cannibalism to stay alive.
Exactly. I can see that back then, because if they had lack of skill in farming or resources that they could pull from the land I mean, you're on a small island. How much can you pull? You'd have to leave in order to get resources that you need, even to farm. If there's not much on the island, then I can completely see that.
Ooh, here's a good one, Dad. There are two theories involving witchcraft. The Croatoan either executed the colonists as witches, or the colonists were the victims of witches who lived in the North Carolina woods. The Croatians believed in witches and witchcraft. Their definition of witches was people who use black magic to commit evil acts in everyday life. While there is no evidence that the Croatoan executed witches or that the Croatoan accused the people of Roanoke of witchcraft, they were known for condemning dangerous outsiders. They easily could have blamed the people of Roanoke for spreading diseases to which the Croatoan had no immunity. The Croatians and the other Native American tribes tell legends of witches who lived in the North Carolina woods who used black magic to hurt other people. There is also a story that the people of Roanoke became the victims of these witches when they left the island, and that is why they were never heard from again. Do we have any registered witches in North Carolina?
No, but I can technically see that, especially back then, what people believed, what people actually probably practiced, they thought was black magic or witchcraft. Well,
that's another thing. Another thing here is a Wendigo ate them. Does everybody know what a Wendigo is?
Wendigo.
I like saying it Wendigo.
You sound like a moron.
It sounds more Spanish.
Well, how do you really say it?
It's Wendigo.
Wendigo?
Yes.
I normally know Wendigo.
I mean, I do too, apparently, and I should be going out this fucking booth at the moment because of you two. Oh, my God.
Native Americans believed in a wild spirit in the form of a beast they called a Wendigo. When people resort to eating human flesh, as in the case of cannibalism, their bodies are taken over by the Wendigo. If the people of Roanoke resorted to cannibalism, then according to this belief, they are still alive, roaming the woods of North Carolina in the form of Wendigos.
I don't want to do this podcast anymore.
Okay,
so now, what have we learned so far?
Hold on. There's one more theory.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is it one? Yeah, one more theory. The Dare Stones, which is apparently what his daughter was writing. From 1937 to 1940, a series of stones were discovered that supposedly tell the story of what happened to the Roanoke colonists. They are called the Dare Stones because they were mostly apparently written by John White's daughter, Eleanor Dare. Most historians consider the Dare Stones a hoax, although many historians believe the first stone is authentic. In 1937, a tourist found an inscribed stone and brought it to Emory University to be examined for authenticity. Dr. Hayward Pierce, a professor of American history, didn't claim the stone was authentic, but it didn't contradict what was known at the time. The inscription was consistent with the phrasing of the time. The colonists would have had tools to carve, such as a message. The inscriptions on the stone that Eleanor's husband and daughter were dead and asked whoever found the stone to tell their father. The inscription read, Ananias Dare and Virginia went hence unto heaven, 1591. Anya Englishman Shoe, John White, Governor, Virginia. That's what the stone inscription read. The other side of the stone reportedly that only 7 of the Roanoke colonists were left alive and Native Americans murdered the rest. It was signed EWD for an Eleanor White Dare.
There's an interesting thing here. It says that the colonists might have been sabotaged as part of a plan to discredit Sir Walter Raleigh.
Like Raleigh, North Carolina?
Well, anthropologist Lee Miller believes the colonists were victims of a plot by Sir Francis Walsingham, England's Secretary of State under Queen Elizabeth I. In the book Roanoke, Solving the Mystery of the Lost Colony, the author theorizes that Walsingham intentionally stranded the colonists and left them to die because Sir Walter Raleigh, who funded the expedition to Roanoke, was granted a royal patent for all the land he settled in America. In other words, it would be retribution against him. Okay. According to the theory, the colonists moved west into what's now North Carolina, where they became embroiled in a conflict between warring native tribes. They were either captured or murdered. All this would have been kept a secret by the Crown, which would explain why no records exist.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hello, nerds. Come listen to the History Nerds United podcast, and let's make history fun again. We interview today's best authors, whether they are established Pulitzer Prize winners or someone debuting their first book. Let us show you that history is not a boring class you took in high school, but a place where the best stories come from. And we don't just cover history, we also love to chat about true crime, biographies, memoirs, and so much more. So head on over to History Nerds United, and let us introduce you to your new favorite book and learn the story behind the story.
History Nerds United.
Well, I have one more thing.
Hey, they kept Prince Philip quiet for a while, you know?
Just more in that, in the tablet, I guess you would call it, the scribe. So 1940, 47 more stones had been found, dating until 1599. A stone dated from 1592 claims that the survivors of Roanoke are safe, living with the tribe and, ready? Are you ready for this? The Nakuchi Valley in Georgia. One dated from 1598 claims Eleanor Dare had married the local chief. Another stone claimed that she had given birth to the chief's daughter, and the tribe was angry about it. And Eleanor requested her father bring the girl back to England with him. A stone dated from 1599 stated that Eleanor Dare had died, and that the daughter named Agnes that had survived. After their discovery, the stones were examined by the Smithsonian Institute and a historian from Harvard University, who declared that the stones had some degree of authenticity. But by 1941, the stones had been exposed as forgeries. In 2015, a History Channel documentary detailed the study of the stones by archaeologists who found that the first stone was authentic, but the others were hoaxes, concluding that they were created with a drill.
I have a late-breaking bulletin from the tinfoil hat-wearing department. This is their latest one. The Roanoke colonists were transformed into, hold your pants, trees.
Even the fucking trees walked in this movie.
The Croatoan tribe reportedly believed that the island had a spirit who, if angered, had the ability to absorb the offenders into the woods. Literally.
Wait, hold on. Are these the same people that that Dorothy met on the Yellow Brick Road?
I don't know. Hey, leave that apple alone. The spirit could control. Forget this. The spirit could transform them into trees, stones, animals, or anything else in nature. If this lore is taken at face value, that means no one actually went missing. They just became part of the land.
All right. So we're going to take a short little break real quick, and then we'll get to our usual if we believe it or not, blah, blah, blah. But we'll be right back, guys.
Okay. If you're looking for a dining experience like no other in the North Jersey area, Soprano's Pizza and Restaurant is your place. Located at 400 Minnesink Road in Totowa, New Jersey, Soprano's offers pizza, sandwiches, Italian delights such as specialty pizzas, seafood, soup, salad, burgers, sides, and much, much more. Free delivery on all orders, more convenient ordering online. Download the app on Google Play or in the Apple Store and track your order. Or if you prefer, just stop by and pick it up. Either way, Soprano's Pizza and Ristorante in Totowa always satisfies. Pleasant staff, exceptional atmosphere, and great food. Open 10 to 10 every day. Visit their website at www.sopranospizzeriamenu.com or phone 973-256-7115. That's 973-256-7115. Soprano's Pizza. Give it a try.
And we are back from our short little break.
Is this real?
And so, you know, we mentioned some theories here, gentlemen. And, you know, it's been a while since it's just been Dad and you know, us three in the booth. So we'll start with you, Roblox. What theory or what do you think could have happened? Like, do you believe in any of these theories? Do you believe this is a real case? What do you think? Let me pick that big bald brain of yours.
It's not bald. I shaved my head.
Okay,
first of all.
Okay, balding brain of yours.
Okay, you prick. Okay, honestly, I'm leaning towards two of them. because they completely make sense, and I can see them as a liable, actual reason explanation. One is a giant storm, because we don't know how the weather was back then. Obviously, it was right off of the coast. I can see a giant storm hitting that place, everyone getting screwed, and then, nothing happening, or maybe the survivors left after the storm or something like that. So I can see that one, and I would believe it, or the cannibal one.
Dang, I go straight to cannibalism.
Yeah, I mean it's true, and there has
because
been
it's metal.
Yeah, first of all, that's my first theory, because it's metal. Fuck yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's possible they're on an island. Maybe their ship got messed up or something like that, and they couldn't go for resources. So last things last, if they couldn't make a boat for themselves to try and get to land to get some type of resources or farm, like I said, if they sucked at it, then I can see the cannibal route. I really can.
That's kind of scary. Cannibalism scares me because I'd be the first on the menu, and I don't like that.
A little bit of teriyaki sauce and barbecue. Yeah, I see it too. But no,
the chops you can get off of him. Holy shit!
That's what I see. Those are the
biggest rump roast you ever saw.
Shut up. Do you believe that there is, is this real? Do you believe that there is a mystery here?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to explain, obviously, because it was so far back then, and there's really no concrete evidence, except for the 1 or 2 little hints here and there. So I believe this is a mystery, but I can see 2 of those theories being true.
All right. Big Joe? Dad?
I got 2 theories as well that I believe in. One would be the fact that these storms came through the area. I mean, where this thing is positioned, you're right, literally out in the open. And even today, whenever we have a storm that comes up the East Coast, it kind of gets buffered before it gets to New Jersey because it's sticking out there, and it hits, the Hatteras Islands really, really bad.
Yeah.
So, and they were right there. It could have been a simple case of, the storm came through and just devastated them, and they had no way of surviving through that, especially the fact that there's no trace of this place.
Yeah.
It could have wiped it out. The other one might be a little bit more far-fetched, but it is plausible. The other one, a theory I have would be the disease theory, but it doesn't address the fact that nothing was found. In other words, if somebody came through with a disease and wiped out the whole thing, you'd still have a house there or trace. I mean, now they did have the fence post, obviously, where Croatoan was written.
Yeah.
So you got to take that into consideration. I would lean, for my own personal thing, I would lean towards the storm coming through. Even the Indians wiping them out as retribution for what John White did earlier, that is plausible, but that still doesn't take the fact. Did they burn down the buildings? Did they move the buildings out of there?
Yeah.
The only one that I see that's plausible that I can think of would be with the storm wiping everything completely out, and we know that because of what we went through with Sandy, 10 years ago. It was devastating, and that's just my opinion.
It does make sense of storm hitting most, which is why I said that first, because there was a gap between when he came back, right?
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah, so a major storm coming in, hitting 3 years, that's probably more than enough time for trees to grow back, vegetation, stuff like that.
And he even hit a storm, too, on his way out, I believe.
Exactly, yeah. So, waves, water crashing, washing things away, I can see it. I mean, the storm...
So do you believe it's a mystery, though?
Well, it is a mystery, no matter how you look at it, because there were people there. What happened to them, that's the mystery. Yeah, there definitely is a mystery. What happened, that also it plays into the mystery part.
Unlike you two, I'm going to go balls deep into the Croatoan mystery.
Okay.
Just that one, because that one, along with what's been said throughout history with how many cases of it's been coming up with people gone missing, that's creepy. And I'm going to go with, I don't know what it is. I don't know what exactly the mystery is or what has to do with the word Croatoan has to do with missing people. Mm. But just the fact that you had Amelia Earhart, this one ship, and Edgar Allan Poe, all go missing and that word pops up with them, or whatever it's associated with missing persons.
I think that's something you should really dive into first before you take into consideration these other stories that might have that word involved.
Yeah, you would need like actual proof.
Yeah,
like if it was written in her diary and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
in her diary, last page of the diary.
I'm
I saw
saying you
pictures.
would need to see the physical proof. I don't know. It's just me.
I don't have the press that's like, hey, okay, federal government, I need to see Amelia Earhart's diary.
We here at Green Owl Media,
we demand and subpoena to see that diary.
I would.
Fuck, I don't have the pull for that.
I would love to.
I don't even have a lawyer. The fuck? We're literally debating today whether who's going to the mailbox to send out the mail today. You think I have a pull with the American government?
He doesn't have a lawyer. People, please do not sue Green Owl Media.
Sue
you
for
wind
what?
up with 4 computers, 8 microphones, a couple of cameras, 3 printers.
We all poll. Please
And a
don't
very,
do it.
very arrogant audio man.
Yeah. And
just saying.
I don't see.
Oh, like I said, if those things are true, and again, it's just things that were written down in history. What does that word have to do with missing people, and why does it keep on popping up with missing persons?
That sounds like a show into itself.
That does. And it's a really interesting topic, and I would like to dive deep more into that.
Let me ask you a question. How many more weeks do we have to this season?
Let me pull it up.
Should be like that in April, correct?
Like 30.
30 more?
No, not 30 weeks.
It's exaggeration, Dad.
Jackass.
It's exaggeration, Dad.
Oh my god.
It's a good couple because this one we threw a lot in. I mean, we can always.
We did throw a lot here.
Yeah, we can always select and choose if we want to.
So 1, 2, 3, 4,
Take
5,
my
6,
shoe.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more weeks.
Okay. And that puts us somewhere where you figure maybe the end of April?
May 5th.
May 5th? Okay.
Yes.
That's our season finale is May 5th.
All right. And when are we approaching our, 200th episode?
100th episode.
100th.
When is that going to be?
21 episode, including this episode 21.
21 more.
Yeah, so after this episode will be 20. This episode that we put up Sunday is going to be our 80th episode.
Wow.
So we have 20 more.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to get together and figure out what we're going to do. We're going to have to bring the whole company in on the 100th one.
Oh, anybody who's doing a podcast, apparently. We don't know that now.
Well, we will. We'll figure that out.
But yeah, so next week's episode, ladies and gentlemen, is more of the same. No. Next week's episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Please no.
We are talking about, this one has a lot of meat we could sink our teeth into. It's a Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, that's a big one.
Everyone knows about the fucking Bermuda Triangle.
That's a good
And
one.
if you don't know, you've heard of the Bermuda Triangle.
And if you don't know,
I like
now
triangles.
you know, Mr. President.
And he's there you go with the short. All right, so should we just keep on? Should we introduce the rest of the season or just
No, we'll do it one by one.
one by one? All right.
Yeah. It's good. So the people who actually listen have something to look forward to.
True. I got you. The last episode of the season was actually added by you and West,
Yes.
which I know nothing about.
Start doing your homework, asshole.
Yeah, I know. So next week's episode is about the Bermuda Triangle, and there's a lot of shit to cover with that. So we might exceed an hour next week.
Yeah.
Might.
Yeah, it's almost a gimme with that. Sure.
Yeah, because there's a lot of shit, a lot of the.
See, that's what I mean about this whole genre that we do. You have levels, like you have like the higher levels, the Kennedy assassination, and then you have 9/11. They're like the two biggest, and then you have another subgenre under that. You'd have Bigfoot, or you'd have stuff like that, and this would come around in the Bigfoot category.
What, the Bermuda Triangle or the one we're talking about now?
No, this one would be a little lower, but the Bigfoot would be like the third one on the list. Then you think of the Bermuda Triangle. That's really, really huge because there's a lot of meat. There's a lot of things that happen there, and we don't
And you could
know.
tie it to some instance in history.
Well, you can. It's been going on forever, and a lot of things did happen there. It's like you can't. They're facts. They're the facts you can talk about. This boat went missing. This plane went down. The radar on this plane went crazy. The compasses on this plane went crazy. They're the. Now, why did they go crazy? What has science found? So, yeah, that's a little preview of next week's show. It's going to be an interesting topic, and I can't wait to get into it. Also, I want to remind everybody out there to hit our Patreon up because we're putting more stuff on every day, and it's starting to grow a little bit. I got a few things that I got in mind. I want to talk to you guys at the end of this episode.
I do have one thing to talk about. I have on TikTok. I've started a little, I guess, not a little following. It's I've gotten some people to watch and stuff like that. But where is it? I just have to. This guy, he literally loves everything we do. He commented. He found our YouTube page. He commented on the YouTube page. His name is Jordan. Mm-hmm. It's not the Jordan. It's not that Jordan.
That's not a place to go right now.
I know. But he found our YouTube page, and I just want to shout out Jordan. Thank you for following, and again, follow our Patreon, bro. We got a lot of good shit on Patreon right now, and we will be adding more stuff. But yeah, so shout out to Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan. Hey, you know what, Jordan? If you drop us a line inbox because of your nice comments, I got a little gift for you. If you can just private message Joey over there. And there'll be something on your I can send you on your way.
All right. So, from everyone here at Is This Real?
And Green Hour Media.
Thank you for listening. And we'll be back next week with the Bermuda Triangle. Joshua, say goodbye to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Big Joe.
Good night, everybody, and more power to the Ukes.
I don't like that name. That just sounds
all right.
weird.
Okay.
All right. More power to the Ukrainian people.
Thank you. And for me, good night, and we'll catch you guys next week. Good night, everybody.
Konnichiwa, bitches. It's Ryu West speaking. If you want to find out more about the Is This Real podcast, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/isthisrealpc, or on Twitter at isthisrealpc, or on Instagram at isthisrealpodcast, all one word.